everyone. A warm welcome and thank you for joining us today for our webinar entitled The Dynamic Duo, Sales and Marketing Working Together. We appreciate your taking the time to be with us for the next 30 minutes, and we hope you will find the session valuable. At this stage, I'd like to introduce you to our guest speakers for today. I have the honor to welcome Christian Vetre, General Manager of SugarCRM and Sugar Market. He's joining us from US East Coast, so he woke up early to be with us today, alongside with Scott Addington, VP of EMEA Marketing. He's located in our UK office. My name is Charlene Elezi, and I'm working as a Customer Marketing Director here at SugarCRM. I have the pleasure to be moderating today's session, and I'm joining you directly from our Munich office. Let's have a look at our full pack agenda. We will first start with setting the stage and looking at three most common challenges that sales and marketing teams commonly face when working together. And I'm sure some of those will definitely resonate with you in our audience today. Then we will explore best practices from our experience that we believe can help your sales and marketing teams align better and work more successfully together. And we're convinced that technology can help and of the power of combining both marketing automation and CRM technologies together. With that, I'd like to hand over to Scott. Scott, the stage is yours.
Thanks, Charlene, and a big warm welcome to everyone who has made it onto the call. And I echo what Charlene has said, and I hope you take a couple of pieces of information out of this, and hope you get some value. But I want to start really by talking to all of the marketeers that are on the call. I want you marketeers to just lean back slightly and close your eyes, and I want you to imagine that you have spent the last 3 or 4 months working on the most perfect marketing campaign that you could possibly put together. Everything was absolutely perfection. The creative was beautiful, the message was clear, the lists were clean, but when the program went live and you executed on the program and the leads came flooding in, sales did, well, you know, they did nothing. That's not quite true. They did do something. They moaned. They basically said, these aren't really leads. These leads are the wrong size, or they're the wrong industry, or they're wearing the wrong colored trousers, or whatever. Basically, they did not follow up. And there you are, you're sitting there thinking, well, I've just spent the last 3 or 4 months of my life organizing this program, and for what? And, you know, Christian, who's on the call with me, Christian, I don't know about you, but for me, you know, I've been there a number of times, and this is the single most frustrating thing ever for a marketeer.
Thank you, Scott. I can hear the anger in your voice as you describe that. As a salesperson, you know, I feel that I need something to work with. I need the right kind of leads, and I feel that the leads I get from marketing, they're the wrong kind of leads. They're not interested. They're looking for something else that we don't sell, or maybe the leads are from too small companies, or they are from, you know, places outside my selling geography. So I want you to give me the leads that are ready to buy. I want to give you more leads that, you know, actually want to speak with me. So, you know, you can see we were trying to put a point on it, but clearly these are dynamics that exist in organization, you know, sales and marketing kind of pushing back at each other. So we're going to try to break this down into kind of some common problems. So maybe, Scott, will you take us through some of the most common challenges?
You bet. So for me, I think when we all boil it all right down, a big chunk of the problem can be found in these 3 areas that we've got on the screen. Okay, we start with terminology, and from my experience, very often sales and marketing people, they almost speak in different languages, right? There's acronyms flying all over the place in terminology. So I think there's a big thing there, and also, you know, communication or a lack of. I mean, often marketing and sales tend to work in silos, and that isn't going to help anyone. And then finally, just not understanding or agreeing on goals and how each other are measured and what is important to the other team in terms of KPIs, in terms of measurement and and things like that. Again, I think those three areas, I think they're where sales and marketing struggle, and this can cause all kinds of friction, which is a shame, I guess, because after all, we are on the same side.
Yeah, so this is a problem that we should be able to solve. So we're going to propose that sales and marketing sit down and they create a strong working partnership, that they work through and come up with what each other's expectations are and speak openly about it and discuss it and agree upon it. So let's talk about what we all agree upon. We all agree that we want to have new customers, both marketing and sales. We want to find new possible buyers for our products and services. We want to make sure those buyers are a match, that they have a need for our products. We want to be able to establish a direct relationship with these possible buyers. And we want to do a good job helping them learn about our products and services, and we want to help them choose to become our customers. So we do that by marketing to the universe of names and produce leads for our sales team. So we actually do think that sales and marketing should sit down and they should write a contract together. And they should actually build a definition, a dictionary of definitions of terminology. Often what happens is that we might use terminology in marketing and sales, but we actually don't agree on what they really meant. We argue about what it really meant. So let's agree upon the definitions of the terms we use. And let's agree on how we communicate with each other. How does marketing pass a lead to sales? How fast do they do it? When do they do it? What tool are they going to use? And then we need to have a periodic time when we do a measurement. Let's measure how we performed against our contract. So we basically suggest writing this down. Write down the terms and the definitions. Write down how and when you're going to communicate. Write down the measurements and KPIs, and then put it into a contract and sign it together. Sign it in blood if you have to make it real and something you're going to be working on together. So now that we talked a little bit about some of the problems and some of the concepts, let's go through some of the best practices. This is a good starting point for a marketing and sales conversation.
Out of the three best practices that we've got here, I think it's hugely important to get right down to basics and lay down and agree what a marketing qualified lead, MQL, actually is. And this is fundamentals and it's basics, but it is super, super important. Whether that is around the size of the organization, the specific industry that they're working in, job titles of the individuals, countries, whatever it is, it's just about, as you say, getting that down on paper and getting everyone to agree. And it's not only about the kind of basic definition, but then also what needs to happen to this MQL to move it across to become an SQL or an opportunity. And getting, from a marketing point of view, getting sales involved in all of this, so they're brought into the whole kind of qualification process and understand how leads are qualified and processed through the funnel, or through the pre-funnel, really. I think that's a really key thing to have and to execute on.
I agree, Scott. And sales typically has some additional things they want to add to the qualification process. And those are things that normally are learned only in kind of one-on-one direct contact. So a salesperson will typically want to confirm that there's an actual need to purchase the product or service. They'll also want to confirm the timing of the purchase. Is it a purchase that's going to happen this month, this year? And they'll want to know that the lead has purchasing authority, that they are the person who is actually representing the company to buy this product, and they have access to money to pay for it. So these are usually done in a direct conversation. And then if all these criteria are met, sales will call this lead a sales qualified lead, or an SQL.
Right. And I think that's, again, super, super important just to get those kind of basics in place. And then finally, it's about having a think about the communication and the measurement, and it's making sure that everyone, I've touched on this before, but make sure everyone knows and understands what the pipeline targets are, how are they calculated, what are each department's contribution to pipeline? It may be that your marketing generates 100%, and then that's a very easy calculation to have. But sometimes, the pipeline and lead generation is split between marketing and sales, and maybe even a BDR team as well. So, making sure that everyone is kept on track. How do we measure and monitor progress? These are all the kind of things, again, as Christian said, having those kind of conversations and finalizing those processes, and everyone needs to be all bought in and nodding along in agreement.
That's great, Scott. Now, you know that SugarCRM is a software company, so we are going to talk about how our software products can help you with this process. So we have two solutions that work together. One is for marketing, that we call Sugar Market, and one is for sales, which we call, drumroll, Sugar Sell. So let's take a look at kind of how the technology works together. We are in a very busy marketing space. When customers come to us, we see them often in marketing departments use 50 or more different software programs to do their job. So this is a little bit of a picture of the evolution of the marketing technology landscape over the years. So you can see kind of in the last decade, it's grown from about 150 tools that marketers use to about 8,000 tools that marketers have to pick from. So in our Sugar Market tool, our goal is to really combine as many as we can into a single tool, so that there's just less tools that a marketer has to do and work with on a daily basis. So let's take a look at what we do. In Sugar Market, we have the tools for kind of acquiring new customers. We have tools for search engine optimization and social media that help you attract customers to your website. And then once on your website, we have tools to help you design the web pages and the forms for visitors on your website to request information from you. Then we have tools to organize the information about your visitors and send them emails over time. We can send large email campaigns as well as one-to-one drip campaigns. And then as your customers visit your site, we track them and we create a lead score that represents their interest in you. And then finally, when we have an interested customer, we want to make sure we tell the salesperson about this. So Scott's going to go through some details of how this is actually done inside of Sugar Market.
Thanks, Christian. Yeah, definitely. So from a new business marketing point of view, I think pretty much everything starts with some kind of form, which, just like this example you can see here from our very own webinar that we're on now, can be built pretty easily inside Sugar Market. And when building such a form or a landing page, again, and you might get bored of me saying this, but involve those people who are going to be doing the follow-up, whether that's sales or the BDR team or whoever, and make sure you got that fine balance right between having enough lead data to be able to enable a good quality follow-up without scaring people off with a nightmare long form. So what we see here is this is actually the business end of a Sugar Market form within the application, and you can see that there's a really strong and clean user interface which allows you to quickly and easily build a lead capture form that suits your individual requirements. There's all kinds of different fields and different bits and pieces that you can build into your form. Just you don't have to be some kind of expert programmer to do it. And as I've said already, but before you get to this stage of the process, you should already have an agreement with sales, an idea with them, and an understanding what the term lead or MQL is, and then you can make sure that the lead form that you're building captures all the relevant information, as I say, without scaring people off. And then we can turn to nurturing. Okay, so listen, unfortunately, here we are in 2021. Gone are the days when software companies close deals straight off the back of a single interaction with a prospect. These days, sales cycles are way longer and way more complex, which is why the whole concept of lead nurturing is so important. And with Sugar Market, there are two different ways we can build these kind of nurtures. Okay, firstly, there's the kind of quote unquote traditional way of building up a workflow, of follow-up communications over time. And this is the kind of stuff that I'm sure you're all familiar with, where you send email on day 1, wait 5 days, send email 2. If they clicked, send email 2A. If they didn't click, send email 2B. Wait, and you build up a workflow like that over time. But it's very kind of marketing communication based. But the second way of building a nurture is, and this is good, right? Because this is one of the examples, a tangible example of the benefits of having sales and marketing technology synced up. And this is how we can enable marketeers to build up a workflow of follow-up activities on behalf of the sales and the BDR teams, such as, a personalized follow-up email or a phone call or a LinkedIn request or a direct mail drop or anything like that. So, you can build the sales follow-up process inside SugarMarket as well. And this is where it gets a little bit more interesting, and we start to see how technology can help the collaboration of the two teams working together. Also in SugarMarket, we have the ability to track prospect activity over time, right, and allocate points or take points away based on how a prospect or a customer interacts with our content and marketing initiatives over the months and weeks. Ultimately, the scoring process is designed to move MQLs, marketing qualified leads, through to be ready to be talked to by a human being, right, a BDR or a salesperson, so to an opportunity level lead. And the key here is to produce consistent quality of a lead. Okay, what the sales and the BDR teams, they need to be confident that the leads that they receive after going through the scoring process are of a consistent quality. They are ready, at least on paper, for further qualification, and actually not just on paper, but actually ready. Okay, we don't want any moaning from a marketing point of view or any pushback about lead quality. We just want this process to flow nice and simple, nice and easy. And the BDRs and the sales team, they know the kind of quality, and they know the kind of levels of qualification that these guys would have already passed to get to the stage in the cycle. And the key, again, throughout all this, the key theme that runs through what we're talking about is good communication, right? As I say, if sales know that the scoring process works, that they've been involved in it, and agreed to it and bought into it, then that can only enhance the process. And as we've seen, right, technology is the great enabler here. With SugarMarket and SugarCell working together, as closely as the human teams, right? And that's the way to kind of optimize and maximize the kind of collective power of the sales and marketing teams.
And that Scott, is one of the, I think the strong points of us here at SugarCRM. Since we deliver both the marketing and the sales platform, we make a special point of making sure the communication and the integration between the two products is really quick and that it's really complete. So when something happens in SugarMarket, it will, like somebody engages with somebody of our content, it's going to be pushed to SugarCell just within a few minutes so that it's available to a salesperson. So let's take a look at that. So here we're looking inside of SugarCell, and we're starting with the concept of a lead queue. So this is a list of leads that we're presenting to a salesperson. And our job as inside of SugarCell in terms of delivering a product is to make that process really intuitive and quick. We're looking to give tools to the salesperson to accelerate the sales process. So one of the tools that we have highlighted here on this screen is a prediction of which leads are the most likely to convert into a customer. We use a AI, artificial intelligence, or a machine learning model to basically compare every lead in the system to leads that have flowed through the process before and to our ideal customer profile in order to spot the leads that are most likely or least likely to convert. That gives us the ability to point the salesperson in the right direction, prioritize the right leads to focus on first, and start working on the details. So let's take a look into the details of a lead and the information we give a salesperson. So here one of the things that we really try to do is to transfer as much information from marketing to the seller. The more the seller knows about the context of the lead when they were inquiring or asking for information, the more motivated they are to call them, and the better quality of a conversation they're going to have with the lead. So, for instance, if they know what product the customer is interested in, why they filled in the form, what information we collected on the form, which marketing campaign this is related to, what's the goal of that marketing campaign, and what the marketing team just even expects the seller to do, these are all important points that if we could give it to the seller with the lead, it helps the focus on the lead from the seller, and it helps the quality of the interaction between the seller and the prospective buyer. So to continue that, we also give the seller the full history of all the engagement with the lead. So sometimes, as Scott talked about, we score the lead over time. The lead might have opened an email from us, or they might clicked on a link, or they might have gone to a web page, but that doesn't necessarily make them a lead. But all that context is interesting to the seller once the buyer has indicated that they want us to contact them or they've requested some type of information. So we share the full customer journey with the seller so they can see the context. Next, we're back in the lead detail, and we provide a space for the seller to put in all their sales qualifying information. We ask the salesperson, to enter this information so we can add it to a marketing database. And we ask them to update the status of the prospect or lead, and we want to know when they plan to follow up. And we also ask for feedback on the quality of the lead so that we can look and compare which ones are doing the best and focus on which ones are producing the best results from the salesperson. So now we get to the concepts of measuring. So we know that there's a saying that what gets measured gets done. So we provide measurements on everything that's going on in the system from both the marketing perspective and from the sales perspective. So by entering all the information into the system, we're able to generate useful management reports. And these reports tell us which marketing campaigns are generating good responses and marketing qualified leads. We'll learn what messaging the market responds to, and we can adjust that messaging in real time. And it just helps us do better over time. And Scott will take a look at reports that show how the sales team is doing.
Thanks, Christian. Yeah, definitely. So those campaign dashboards that track performance, they're really, really important. We can take them to the next level when you use advanced analytics and drill down into the data, slice it and dice it all manner of ways. And so at Sugar, I mean, personally, I review the pipeline with the sales leadership here in Sugar on a weekly basis, right? And we look at it in all kinds of different ways. We chop it up by region, by country, by salesperson, by close date, by open date, by funnel stage, by product, and an all mixture of those. Okay, so it could be by funnel stage by salesperson, or by close date by product, or by close date by country. I mean, we can slice and dice the data in infinite ways and really get detailed insight. And it's this kind of insight and intelligence that allows you to make the right business decisions. And again, it's all about the technology that's underpinning it, right? The technology here is the great enabler, and making it happen. Right. Well, we have covered an awful lot in the last 26 minutes, if I'm being honest. So we're coming to the kind of last final stretch now. So just want to take a breath, take a step back and review some of the key takeaways. Okay, so if I was to summarize the key to sales and marketing success in one word, I think that one word would be collaboration, right? And collaboration is really only achieved here in this particular instance when lead definitions are agreed upon, when the scope of measurement for both parties are shared and understood, and when both sides work hand in glove together and communicate regularly. And again, as we've said before, technology is the kind of underlying enabler with all this, and can really help to take this collaboration onto the next level.
So I think for the beginning, we said we all wanted the same thing. We want to be prosperous and we want to grow. And I think, if we take note of what we're doing here, break down the silos between marketing and sales, and we just get this right, it's going to lead you to faster growth. It's going to allow you to prove the fact that you're getting results from your marketing. It's going to help you deliver a better product to your customer. It'll help you communicate with them easier, and it'll improve your employees' morale. When things are working smoothly, things generally tend to go better in a business. And management do want data. They need to make decisions. They need data to support that. This is all really worth doing, and we want to make the point here at SugarCRM. We can help with this. We have the tools. You're going to have to help with processes, but we're making some best practice recommendations on what processes work well with our tools. We're here to help.
Thank you so much. I think we're coming towards the end of our session for today, and I've seen a couple of questions coming through the chat. So I'd love to take the time now to read those for you, Scott and Christian, and see if we can answer them live, and then wrap up for today. So the first question is, do both tools integrate easily, and can my sales team then see what happens in the journey of a prospect? Maybe, Christian, this could be one for you.
Yeah, thanks, Charlotte. So yes, as we kind of spoke a little bit about, since we deliver both tools, we take pride in making sure that they connect together easily. So the process of connecting, say, for instance, SugarMarket to our SugarSell tool is built in to the products. So it's really a matter of kind of following a little bit of a wizard, point to your SugarSell instance, provide some login credentials, provide a few options and mappings, and literally that process takes about 15 minutes to connect up. That's pretty simple. And then data will be flowing both ways. Customers will be flowing from SugarSell into SugarMarket, and then the engagement and leads will be flowing from SugarMarket into SugarSell.
Thank you, Christian. Another one, I think that's a good follow-up on what you just said. There is a customer in our audience today that is already using SugarSell, and they would like to know how long would it take for them to implement and start working with SugarMarket?
Yeah, so the connectivity is quick, like I said. Say it's about 15 minutes to just physically connect the two together. Then it's really probably the time-consuming part where it takes a little bit of stages is the starting to implement all the different functionalities in your marketing in SugarMarket. So you typically start with building landing pages and forms, getting some email campaigns going, and then gradually nurture build campaigns gets added to the mix. And all that typically happens between 60 to 90 days. So it's really, the time it takes a process to change inside the marketing team and train everybody up on all the tools and alter your marketing content. 60 to 90 days is what we typically see for our customers.
Thank you, Christian. I have another one, maybe for you, Scott. I think we have a customer in audience located in Europe, right? And they are particularly interested into knowing where is the system hosted. Could you speak to that a little bit?
Yeah, absolutely. And first of all, thank you for at least allowing me to answer a question, because I did think Christian was hogging all those questions. But no, it's a great question, and it's very important, obviously, for those of us that are in Europe and EMEA. So I can tell you with great confidence that all of our products are hosted in Frankfurt, actually. So we have everything locally hosted, and should be no problems from kind of data or security kind of viewpoints.
Excellent, thank you. I think that's all the questions we had, and in the interest of time, I think we will slowly wrap up. So before you go, we wanted to bring a couple of additional resources to your attention that we think could help you in your continued journey. There is an infographic that you can find on our website under the resources. Another blog post that I think echoes very well the conversation we've had today, and as Christian and Scott said, we're here to help. Don't hesitate, reach out to us. So with that, Scott, Christian, thanks for your time. I definitely think it was very valuable insights, and I also took a couple of additional takeaways. So thank you. And thank you to our audience for joining us, for taking 30 minutes from your busy schedule to be with us. And we hope you found the content valuable. We look forward to your feedback. And at this stage, we would like to wish you a lovely rest of your day. Thanks, everyone.